Okay, yesterday's video, I asked at the start, she was showing off my green screen. Do you remember showing off my green screen? Lovely, lovely new toy. And I said, give me some ideas for backdrops. Now, a lot of you, the vast majority of you, said Upton Park, the bowling ground. Now, we can do that. We can absolutely do that. We will do that. But bear in mind, it was only last week. I think we did an hour of secret behind-the-scenes footage of Upton Park. I got lots of it. If you want the videos to come from Upton Park, that can happen. But I meant something else, if I'm honest. I meant, look, let's put it this way, right? I've got this lovely new toy. Isn't that great? And I've got to test it out, right? But think of it more, our horizons are vast, right? I'm stuck in a shed. You're stuck at home. We can go anywhere we want. We could talk about West Ham from out the front of the Taj Mahal, if we so choose. Great. Nothing wrong with that. We could even use it as almost like a time capsule. It's I basically sat in a TARDIS at the bottom of my garden. We could go back in time, any point in time we could go back to Troy, if we so choose. I'll check inside that horse. Before you go to sleep, before you have before you get on the bevies, check the horse. They should check the horse. We could go anywhere. We could go to foreign countries, China. We could go to Wuhan meat market. That'd be nice. I will have the deep fried bat, please. Thank you. What could possibly go wrong? If you wanted to, you could go back in time to the Wild West. Looks like someone got there first. Or you can just use the green screen to meet new people. You might want to be careful about that one. I'm just saying, give me your ideas. I've had a couple of really good ones, and we'll have a little bit of fun. Let's be fair, a little bit of fun whilst we're talking about West Ham. Now, on the subject of West Ham, in fact, that's going to have to go. We'll wait. I don't want to display anything on the greens. That is great. That is great. I'm very, very pleased. The missus said to me, what do you want for Valentine's Day? I said, I don't need anything. You see my green screen. How romantic is that? Anyway, very, very nice. Look, we've been linked. We've got lots to discuss today. We've been linked with a number of free strikers, basically. They're free because they're rubbish. So we're going to talk about them. Not all of them are rubbish. Some of them are good, what they used to be. We've got a bit of a problem with Angelo Ogbonna, which we need to discuss as well. More than just a bit of a problem with Angelo Ogbonna, to be fair. But I think we can sort it out. I think we can work our way through it. And also, we've been linked to two strikers from the Championship, which I really want to discuss. Ivan Toney and Adam Armstrong. Apparently, we're scouting them now. Both need to be discussed. In fact, let's discuss them now. Right. Two different players. We've got to go and get a striker. This much is clear. What Gio always says, it's important that Antonio is... We don't buy an understudy for Antonio. It's important and Antonio becomes the understudy. Doesn't mean he's not going to get on the pitch. Doesn't mean he's not going to enjoy a game or two. Far from it, right? He will feature a lot. But he is injury prone. He absolutely is. He's a big, muscular, twitch muscle, fit, firing, a wonderful player. But he breaks down because he's so finely tuned. He's a bit like my old Vauxhall Nova in that he's not really. But he's a finely tuned athlete, right? We need somebody to come in. Right, so they're two different players. Adam Armstrong, really fast. So I think both of these players bring something to the squad, right? Or the team, let's say. Adam Armstrong, very, very fast. Getting behind defenders, shoots a lot. I mean, an awful lot. So this is number 1 and number 2 in terms of strikers in the Championship, if you don't already know, right? Pulls wide really, really well as well. Quite tricky, but small. Now, he does, I've said this before, he does have history in terms of Andy Johnson from Crystal Palace. David Moyes has a history of signing, some vertically challenged players, if you like. I say that with all the best intention in the world. I'm one myself, although I'm not a player. I'm just vertically challenged. I'm not even a footballer. But I can time travel and go around the world from within my shed, which is a bonus. I would like him. Do I think Moyes will buy him? No. Which brings us on to Ivan Toney. Now, this is really, really important, and because it's another one that's come from Brentford. I don't know why we just can't buy Brentford. All right, that's really what we need to do. We need to buy Brentford, or just this whole scouting department, their director of football, everybody that's at Brentford, probably not the fans, but there are some that we could leave at Brentford, but take all the important people in Brentford and buy them and transport them into West Ham. We could just get them from one place to the other. We could use the shed. I can transport them. We can do that as a conduit, right? Because they sold Ollie Watkins to Aston Villa, 28 million, really good striker, banging in the goals. Everyone thought, oh, well, that's it. They're not going to be able to do that. Right now, Ollie Watkins was really Neil Maupai's replacement, who scored lots of goals from. Got a transfer to the Premier League. Watkins comes in, scores lots of goals from, gets a transfer to the Premier League. They thought, they won't be able to do it again. Well, they have. Ivan Toney. They got him from Peterborough. Banging in the goals, scoring more goals than Ollie Watkins. Now, the funny thing about Armstrong and Ivan Toney is they were both originally at Newcastle. There you go, bit of trivia. He's a very, very different player, by the way. He's more physical. He's bigger. I don't mean he's an absolute lump. He's not a cart horse. No, far from it. He is a very, very instinctive finisher. He finds a space. You watch his highlights, lot of tap-ins, which is no bad thing. He finds the right space. He is a striker. Maybe not pulling as wide as often as Armstrong, but really good. And his goal scoring rate is absolutely off the chart. I mean, he's really, really good. Whether we could afford him, I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, that shouldn't be the case, that we can't afford to buy a player from Brentford. Well, we did buy a player from Brentford, which is Said Benrahma. So I know lots of people thought that we mucked that deal up, but let's be fair. If we had completely soured relations with Brentford, then we wouldn't have done the deal for Winston Reid. Crikey, he's been gone so long, I forgot his name. Sorry, Winston. We wouldn't have been able to do that deal, and we've done. So clearly there's a channel open there, and maybe even there's a player that they might be interested in taking, certainly if we'd offset his wages. So maybe something can be done there. But I do like the idea of both of these players. I think they both fit in at West Ham. I think it's got to be done. And if what we're saying is, if we've got to take it on the chin that we didn't go and get, what's his name, the one that falls over all at Dia in France, we didn't get him for 9 million because we were waiting so as we get one of these really good players that Moyes fancied. Okay, fine. We'll sort of take it. I'm still a bit bitter about going out of the cup, but eventually I will accept that, certainly. However, this takes us on to another subject, which is free transfers. Now, obviously, you can only sign a player from another club during the transfer window. That's fine. However, if a player doesn't have a club, you can sign him outside the window. We have two recent examples. We might have more. There's two that I can think of. Samir Nasri and Patrice Evra. I think they were both at clubs. One of them had been banned. Maybe they've both been banned. Maybe they've both been naughty. Can't remember. Something like that. Anyway, so there are some players that are without clubs. Not necessarily because they've been naughty. They just don't find themselves with clubs. So the first one is Diego Costa. I only smile because... remember the other day when we saw the lineup for the Man United game and I said that must be the slowest team West Ham have ever put out. If there's any way that you want to make an immobile, static team more static and immobile, maybe to put someone like Diego Costa in there. Great player in his day. You know, he's got a winner's mentality. He's a dirty swine. Remember him almost killing Adrian? Allegedly, not really, didn't kill him, didn't even attempt to kill him, tackled him and it hurt him, let's put it that way. I was there for that game. That was, really, really nasty, actually. Look, he's one of those type of players that if he's playing against your team, you hate him, he plays for your team, you'd love him. He would bring no improvement to our team whatsoever in terms of the way we play. It would be Sebastian Haller all over again. Moyes ain't going to adapt his tactics to Diego Costa. Okay, so another one is, actually, let me say this one. This one's really good. Omar Niasse. Now, I would like to sign this guy. He used to play at Everton, if you might remember the name, just so as we could name him Painin. We call him Painin. Painin Niasse. That would be a good one. I would like that in there with a fornicator, Big Sue. Arthur Masuaku, Arthur the Masseuse Masuaku, and all the others. He's free. Don't score many goals, but hey ho, we're not scoring many goals anyway without any striker up front. Let's be perfectly honest with you. Diafra Sakho is apparently free as well. Fancy a bit of that? I don't know. He must be in his mid-30s now, surely. I really liked Sakho, by the way. I don't think I've said that quite a while. I thought he was a really, really good striker. I think we handled that really badly. Anyway, I'll end up talking about Sam Allardyce again. No, and nobody wants that, do they? And maybe we'll pop Big Sam up on a green screen at some point. Wilfred Boney. Like I just said, Sacco might be 35 now. I reckon Wilfred Boney might be 35 stone. I mean, let's be fair. This is not and he was a really good player for about 2 seasons at Swansea. He was probably the biggest player I've ever seen. Wilfred Boney looked like he'd eaten Benny McCarthy, put it that way. So I didn't. If he was a bit Chunkenstein, then I'm thinking he probably won't suit our system overly now. But he's available, aren't we all? Anyway, that was Wilfred Boney. There was one more there's 2 more. Sorry, Alexander Pato. Now he used to be the future, and now he's not. He was really good actually. He came over from Brazil. AC Milan looked like he was going to be the best young striker in Europe. That didn't actually happen. Went and played for Chelsea. Anyway, he's available. We went back to Brazil, didn't score many goals over there, so now he's available again. Look, you're not. These are not rich pickings. This is not Robert Lewandowski. This is not the Lewandowski here, right? Because you ain't getting him for free. He's going to cost you 80 million or whatever the case may be. Right? These are free, largely because they're old and slow and useless. A bit like myself, right? Overweight, old, slow, and useless. I have a lot in common with these people. So the last one is Daniel Sturridge, who, funnily enough, is neither old, overweight, slow, or useless. He just can't be arsed, right? That's the thing with him. That's the thing with this fella. Oh, he's infuriating. What a talented player. Just for a season and a half, looked like he could again be one of the best players in the world. Again, just you used to hear these reports from Liverpool. He didn't turn up for training. He kept on reporting injured when they didn't believe he was injured. And you heard the same thing when he was at Chelsea and the same thing when he was at Man City. You hear these things enough times, you start to believe him. He had one decent loan spell at Bolton, had another loan spell at West Brom, possibly was it? Doesn't do anything there at all. Frustrating player, immensely talented, and just, I don't know. Clearly, unfortunately, you can't take someone like Declan Rice's work ethic or Mikel Antonio's work ethic and put it into Daniel Sturridge. Mikel Antonio with Daniel Sturridge's talent. Oh, I mean, what a fantastic thing that would be to behold. But anyway, it just doesn't. That's that. So on the free transfers, none of them for me. Just quickly, because the news about Ogbonna and the ligaments. Anyone that saw Anthony Martial's studs crunch, Anthony Martial was killing everyone. Actually, no, that's not fair. I think it was Diop that headed Anthony Martial, to be fair. But anyone that saw Martial's studs make contact with the ankle of Angelo Ogbonna would be probably unsurprised to find out that there's ligament damage there. He will be out for up to a month. I still think that's miraculous. I've had ankle ligament damage myself, and I say it had when it's really cold like now. It's still pain. I did this in my mid-20s, a couple of years ago, but it still hurts. I guess. You get the best physiotherapy and you get all these, the best medical attention, I guess, but it heals up more quickly. But I am always amazed at how quickly some of these footballers can recover. But they reckon a month. I'd be amazed if it is just that. We've got to do without him for a month, basically. I don't look, hammer of the year for many, and rightly so as well. I don't think it will be the end of us in those sort of terms, because such is the cohesive organisation of just the defensive strategy that Moyes and his coaching staff have implemented. Let's be perfectly honest, last 4 or 5 games, Dawson has looked better than Ogbonna. Now, it's not to say Dawson is better than Ogbonna or anything like it. Ogbonna, for the first 3 years of his time at West Ham, been in and out of the team. It's only really the last, the 18 months like that, where we felt we can't do without Ogbonna, whatever happens. And I think a large part of that is down to David Moyes putting him in this system, which really works. So is it ideal? No. Is he our best defender? Yes. But I would hope that we can probably, because of the organisation of the team, I would hope we'll be able to sort of muddle through it, stumble through it, without us being impacted too heavily. I think we'll still be able to keep clean sheets and not start conceding 5 and 6 goals and stuff like that, which would be the fear. I do. The other end of the pitch is far more of a concern for me. Far more of a concern is scoring goals, because I just think there are players that can drop in there. And Balbuena was in good form. Let's be honest, he was in good form before Dawson nicked his place. Naughty old Dawson. I guess the one thing that goes against him is Angel Bonner is a naturally left-footed left centre-back, and everybody else seems to want to play on the right. And when I say that, Dawson, Balbuena, and of course Diop there. We bought in this lad Alves. He's going to be there as a substitute, as backup. He's our 5th choice centre back. If he's not going to be used as our 5th choice centre back, what's the point in buying him? Let's be fair, he ain't good enough to be. If he's not 5th choice, what is he? 6th, 7th, 8th? What was the point in bringing him in? I don't know, but I think the fact that David Moyes was happier to play 2 fullbacks either side of Dawson, the back three, probably tells you everything you need to know about Alves' readiness at the moment as far as Moyes is thinking about it. Right, that's it. I'm gone. Let's get a bit creative about the old green screen, huh?